Hello everyone, welcome to today's lecture. Today we are going to look at basics of Python. So Python was developed by Van Rossum and it was released in 1991. Basically Python was developed in C language. Developed in C language. Next, Python is high level language. So what do you mean by high level language? Language which are easy to read and write. So what other language could be considered as high level language? Yes, JavaScript, C++, Java, all these language could be considered as high level language. So language which is easy to read and write. Now let us move on to the next point, that is Python is dynamically typed language. So what do you mean by dynamically typed language? So the language which you don't have to assign data types to it. So what are the data types? So every variable is either a string, either a numeric data type, or it would be like a boolean. So in many other languages like C++ or in C, it is a statically typed language. So you need to assign data types to it. So if you in C++, if you want to declare a variable, how you would declare a variable? It is like int a is equal to abc. So it is integer, so you need to mention it 1. So here you have statically assigned data type to it. So it is a statically typed language. Why? Because you have statically assigned data types to the variable. Next we have dynamically typed language. So in dynamically typed language, you don't need to assign any data types to it. So if you mention a is equal to 1, it will automatically assign data type integer to the variable a. Similarly in JavaScript, if you mention variable a is equal to 3, it will automatically assign data type integer to this variable a. Now let us move on to the next point, that is it uses interpreter for compilation. So what happens when you code? So suppose here you are coding your program, you code it out and you give it to compilation. So in compilation what it happens is your code turns into the machine code. So it is understandable to the machine, that is 01000. So there are two types of compilation could happen. If it uses compiler or it could uses interpreter. And it depends upon which language you are using for coding. So if you are using C++, it uses compiler, whereas if you are using Python, it uses interpreter. So what happens in compiler? What it does, it takes code all in once and it compiles into the machine code. Whereas in interpreter, it goes by line and then it converts into the machine code. Moving on to the next point, most popular language. So Python is most popular language in 2024. It was most popular language in 2023, 2022, and because it is easy to read and write the code onto it. Next, Python is heavily used in data science, AI and ML. The reason behind this is because scientists and researchers found it easy to write code onto Python. So many scientific libraries such as Scikit, Keras, TensorFlow was built on Python, and they become very much popular in data science, AI and ML. And now it's time for hands-on coding. So first concept we are going to learn about is what is and now it's time for hands-on coding. So first concept we are going to learn about is what is variable. Variable is the name of the memory location that can store a value. So what does it mean? Basically, variable stores the value into the RAM. So here is our RAM, and suppose this is all empty addresses, and we have stored a value 10 at the address x123, and the variable name that we have assigned is a. So basically it's a memory location that can store the value 10 at a location which is x123. So now what are the general concept to name a variable? So the first character cannot be a digit. So you cannot name a variable 1 to ABC because the first character is integer. Now it cannot be a keyword. So what does this mean? So we cannot name our variable for if, else, because, or all this variable name is keywords. Now there is a general rule that to name a variable it should be in small case. You could name a variable um, in uppercase or in upper camel case, but the general rule to name a variable is small case because when other programmer sees your code, he could easily understand that it is a variable. And other general thumb rule is to name the variable in a meaningful way so other programmer could understand that what the variable is doing. And now it's time for the hands-on to do a variable code. So let me just put down the console. Let us create a new file, basic of python.py. Now let us assign a variable. So suppose a is equal to 1 and we have assigned a variable a is equal to 1 and now it's time to print variable a. Print variable a. So how do we run this program? Let us create our console and then first run python. And now you have to locate the file that you want to run. So we are running basic of python.py. So here you could see we got the value of the variable, that is 1. Now what if we want to get the location of our variable? To get the location of our variable, we just need to type a keyword, that is id. So to get the location of a, we print id of a. So first we remove the first sentence and then we clear our console and run python basic of python.py, and here is the location of our memory. Now let us try to attempt do this for a string data type. So suppose our variable is a and we now want to print a string which is hello world. So how to print this? So print keyword a and we remove our previous print statement and now run it. We just need to type python and the file name that we want to run, basics of python, and here is our first first variable assignment a, and we have print the statement hello world. And now we want to learn about what is comment. Comment is generally done to make your code much more readable, or it is done in the debugging part when you don't want a certain code of the part you don't want to be run. So there are generally two ways to do a comment. So for example, if you want to comment a first line, suppose this is your statement and we want to comment a first line. To generally comment a first line, we just need to type 2 hashtag and it will comment a first line. What if, how do we comment a paragraph? So now what if we want to comment multiple lines? A good method is to use double quotes 3 times. So whatever you type in it is comment, is comment. Next concept we want to learn about is input statement. So what is input statement? To take a user input, there is a keyword in Python we need to use as input. So suppose we want to take an input. Let us take input of the user, or variable name is input of user, and we create a and use input keyword, and now let us print that input of user. Now let us clear our console and let us run our code, python basics of python. Now it's asking for the input. So now let us input hello world, and here you could see your input print. Next concept we want to learn is conditional statements. So what is a conditional statement? So suppose you want to create a program that helps a user to carry a umbrella if it's raining, else you should tell him to not carry an umbrella. So generally, how do you code? So let us go back to our Excel draw statement. Next concept we want to learn about is conditional statement. So what is a conditional statement? Suppose you mention if it's raining, you carry a umbrella, else you don't carry a umbrella. So how do you do in this in programming language? So you said if it's raining, that is a statement. If it's true, then go inside this and execute some code, else don't carry a umbrella. That means execute some else code. So now let us implement conditional statement in Python. So now let us clear our console, Control A. Now suppose our variable is raining, which is a string. Uh, it's raining, and now let us implement conditional statement. So if is raining is equal, that is we have used is equal to that is check operator. If it's is equal to it's raining, then you carry a umbrella. Carry a umbrella. Else you don't need to. Else do not carry umbrella. Do not carry a umbrella. So now let us look what is happening. So we have created a variable name is raining, and it's saying that it's raining, which we have created a string. And next we have created a conditional operator if, and we are checking if it's is raining is equal to it's raining statement, then we should print a statement carry a umbrella. Else we should do not carry a umbrella. So here is the syntax. If conditional statement, then we have a double apostrophe, then we have a statement, else we have apostrophe, and we have a statement. So what if we have more than if and? So in if else statement, now we will learn about what is nested conditional statement. So here is a scenario. Suppose if it's raining, we carry umbrella. If it's not raining, we don't carry an umbrella. What if it's snowing? So we will carry a jacket. Now here you could see we have multiple if else statements. To code it out, we will use nested if else statement. So how do we do it? So we check if is snowing. So we suppose it was snowing. So it says snowing. And now we create a nested if else statement. So if is snow is equal to snowing, which is happening. So let us, okay. If it's snowing, print wear a jacket. Wear a jacket. Now, suppose it's not snowing, it's raining. Else if snow is equal to raining, then carry a umbrella. Cool. If it's not happening both, do not cap. So if nothing happens, we should not do not worry. Now let us run our code. To run our code, now let us run our code. Python basic of, and here we could see wear a jacket. So what happened? Let us look onto our code in detail. So we mentioned it's snowing, and we check if it's snowing, wear a jacket. So here it's mentioning wear a jacket because it's snowing. We created also multiple if else statement. If it's raining, carry a umbrella. So let us make it raining. So what do you think? Where it will go? Let me first. Yeah. So what do you think? Where will the statement will run? So here you could see it will go into the else if statement. So now let us run our code. Python basics of, and here is our output that you should carry a umbrella. And suppose what if it doesn't match anything? So where it will go? Yes, it will go into the else statement, and suppose it is summer, it will go into the else statement that will print do not worry. So let us check this also. Let us clear our statement. Python print basic of Python do not worry. So here we learnt about conditional statement, nested if else statement, and about loops. Loops are of two types: for loops and while loops. For loop executes for certain number of iteration, while loop execute code until an statement gets false. So now it's time for coding part. So let us say for I in range iterate 5. Would you able to guess what will I print? Yes, it will print integer from 0 to 4. Basically, it is iterating from, we are telling for I in iterate from 5. So basically, our start is 0, step is 1, end is 5. And it does not, end does not contain the last element. You remember that. So our whole statement would be iterate from 0 to 4. Yes, this is our output. And now let us look for while statement. While statement is very much simple. You need to iterate until it's false. So let us say I is equal to 0, and we create a while loop. While I is less than 5, iterate print I until it gets false. So we have to increment the value, that is increment each value by 1. Now let us clear our console, and now let us run our code. So here you could see our 4 values. Basically, there are 3 types of data types in Python, that is numeric data types, which could be further divided into integer, float, and a complex data type. Next we have boolean, if it's either true or false. Next we have a string. Now let us look on to the hands-on coding on these data types. So now let us clear all this code. So first we are going to look at numeric data type. First we are going to look at integer data type. First, integer data type. To use a data type, you just need to type int for integer data type. So suppose integer a is equal to integer 1. The data type of a variable, we use type keyword to get the variable data type. So for example, we could use print type A, and it would print the type of the A variable. So let us clear our console. Now let us run our code. Here we could find this is integer. Could you do it for float? Yes. To do it for float, you just need to change for it float, and now it will show data type float. And you necessarily don't need to type float data type. You could just assign variable 1.0. It will also print float. Now let us print float. Now let us look at how to get about complex data type. Complex is a type of a plus ij. So we could do like 1 plus and 9j, which is a form of a complex number. Now let us clear our console and print our value. Here you could find it out to be complex. Next we want to learn about Boolean data type. And now let us look for Boolean data type. Boolean data type are of two type, false or else it would be true. Now let us look for true, and here you could see it will be a Boolean, which in short form is bool. Could you do it for false? Yes. We just need to print and we get bool. Now let us look at the data type of string. To use a string data type, you just need to add double quotes or single quote to the statement. So double quote and say hello world, and you could find our data type. So firstly, let us clear the console and just print first statement. So in this lecture, we learned about what are basic data types. We learned about how to print if-else statement, what are conditional statement, what are for loops, what are while loops, and in next lecture, we are going to learn about data structure. With this, I am very much excited, and I will see you on to the next lecture. Thank you, everyone.